Louisville also taking the next step on a project where social workers would head to some calls for help instead of police. The 911 calls would be screened and a mental health professional would head out. WHS 11 Team's Isaiah Kim Martinez has the story after a meeting on this tonight and what we know about a timeline.
The standard call for help is expanding as Louisville dispatchers inch closer to a modernized approach at their fingertips to serve those in crisis.
So it's extremely important for us to get it right.
East Louisville's Elisha Durrett-Johnson is encouraged by the city's plan for 911 deflection, a pilot program announced in October to create a staff of trained counselors specifically to respond to mental health emergencies, in some cases diverting them away from police responsibility.
Our mentally ill people. How can we help them?
Just this week, we saw Hodgenville start a similar project. Jeffersontown implemented their version in the summer. To mental health care professionals like Durrett-Johnson, the benefits are obvious. She's the CEO of Begin to Talk Services.
Just today, if I had a client tell me if she didn't have access to therapy for the past year, she didn't even know if she would be here.
Originally, the hope for some was to get mobile units up and running by the start of December. That hasn't happened, although job listings through city partners are already online. Metrosafe tells us there are still details to be ironed out, but wouldn't specify. Meanwhile, Durrett-Johnson says for the program to succeed, the city must build trust with the community in the process.
If they see the case manager or the social worker as an extension of LMPD instead of an alternative service, then it doesn't matter what service you're trying to bring them, they're not going to engage in it.
And as for Louisville families battling losses at the hands of violence,
our police officers are not trained to deal with mental health.
Many see these intervention efforts also making the difference between life and death.
We have the TVs up.
And Louisville Metrosafe says that they're going to be meeting with council members next week to iron out all the details on this. In the meantime, that ordinance will head off to the committee in hopes to get it to the full vote by the final session of this year at the Metro Council.